Hello and welcome. Elena Frobase here with Transform Publishing, and I am here with author Curtis Peanut Johnson. Hello and welcome. How are you, Curtis?
Exceptionally well. Thank you so much for having me.
Perfect. So we're here today because you are one of the co-authors of the S.T.A.R program book, and you wrote a chapter in it, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So are you ready?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, first, if I have to say, I did really enjoy reading your chapter. So,
Thank
for those of you watching who are going to get the book, definitely you will enjoy Curtis's chapter. So,
thank you.
I want to start off in your chapter. One of the topics you talked about being smart, and you tell the story about how your teacher invested in you.
hmm
Talk to our viewers about the importance of investing in others, especially those people whom we think might not be savable.
Oh my God! So it's perfect because I also run a small business incubator in the Dayton area called Official Network and Chill. So a lot of these people are, fly by night entrepreneurs, or maybe they do it on their weekends, or maybe it's a hobby that they want to potentially turn into a business. So we took the time to invest in those startup businesses in order for them to flourish because like you're in Lima, of course, but like we're in Dayton, Ohio, to where we were decimated by the loss of jobs and things of that nature, and it continued to bear fruit today, or the lack of fruit. So what we've been doing is investing in the grassroots organizations here to kind of help them become the next wave of entrepreneurs in Dayton, Ohio. So I've definitely been paying it forward as well.
Perfect. You skipped over really fast. I want to bring you back to the network and chill. When
Yes.
I read your chapter and read that in there, I thought, what the perfect
Oh my
name.
God. That's my dryer. Give me 2 seconds.
All right. Well, anyways, he has network and chill, and I just think that's so great because we are used to Netflix and chill. So great play on words. So we will wait a minute for him to come back. We have more fun stuff to talk about, but evidently his dryer is making lots of noise. Here he comes. I see a shadow.
I apologize about that. That
That's
was
a
completely impromptu.
You know what though? That is life. And that's the great thing from working from home. So things like
Yes.
that happen. And I'm actually over at my brother's house today and using his office, and his dryer started earlier. And I thought, oh gosh, if that goes off. And so I may have the same problem, not that loud though. So that's great. All right. So, question number two, in your chapter, you said, and I quote, it's disheartening when observers attribute success to luck or being in the right place at the right time.
hmm
Can you expound on this?
Yes, because so I'm part of the 5 a.m. club. So I get up every day 5 a.m. and those small things right there are something that are lifebloods to an entrepreneur success or not, right? Because for instance, like you have someone to say, "Oh, I don't have enough time to work out," but then they're sleeping till noon, or I don't have enough time to start anything else. It's because they are literally not preparing for success. And a lot of times you have to take on the things that are uncomfortable in order to be successful, such as, I mean, it could be something as small as, okay, I'm gonna work out on my lunch break rather than go out to get something that's gonna make me fat. I'm going to take on this diet. I'm going to meal prep. It's simply, like people want to attribute those things to just, oh, he just lucky. Oh, he just had came from a good family. When you look at someone like myself, where yes, I do come from good roots, as they say, because my grandmother was a community organizer. But if you start to go down those different branches, you'll see that those are fractured as well, like everyone else. But the difference between being successful and not is basically preparing yourself and being ready for those uncomfortable situations that put you in a position to be successful.
Absolutely. And I agree with you on that entire statement of when people say, oh, you're lucky, or, it's easy for him. They
Right,
don't see the behind the scenes of what we've went through
right.
to get to where we are. So
Like
definitely
running to stop a dryer from going crazy during an interview, right? Like they don't understand the preparation that goes into this.
correct. That is absolutely correct. They see all the polishing that we show.
Yes.
So, all right. So, also in your chapter, you talk about the difference between physical connections and online connections, which
hmm
I think is a great topic. So
Yes.
can you explain to us the power of both, and which you feel is most powerful and why?
Okay, so in the chapter, I definitely spoke about the whole fact of I understand the necessary of both evils, right? Such as, I'd have to go all the way to Lima to sit with you in order to do an interview. So I understand that there's this value in online connection. I don't downplay that, but to me, I find more value in able to put people in the seat, such as because we have a Patreon, shameless plug, right? For our organization called Official Network and Chill. So we have it, it's cheaper to actually watch online, right? So it's $1.99 for you to watch online, but it costs more to be in person because then you have a person who is literally more motivated to come, right? So if I were to say, okay, if you're truly serious about this, it'll be a upcharge, right? And that's kind of what kind of gets you to kind of get yourself off that couch, right? Because anybody can sit back home and learn new principles and values on YouTube, eating a bag of chips. But the fact of you getting up and applying what you're learning, you're in an environment, you're around like-minded individuals. It's literally a lot more that goes into it than just you sitting at home just watching online. Because I've probably watched 10 million hours of swiping on my phone that did nothing for me besides one conversation in a business clinic or things of that nature that's completely uh, uh, you know made my business completely better, right? So that's what I was speaking about in that regard.
Absolutely. And the energy of everybody being in the room, the energy is way
Oh,
better than when you're in a Zoom conference. I hate Zoom conferences where you have a bunch of people because the energy is so low and it becomes boring.
especially in a Zoom session, like half of them aren't even wearing pants, right? You don't even know what's going.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll have a story for you on that for another time. I'm going to tell the story. I won't say who,
Okay.
but I was on a Zoom meeting and this lady got up. She what did she do? Oh, she minimized her screen. So
Mm.
she thought because we couldn't see her, she couldn't see us. But her camera was still on and she got up and walked away and she was in her underwear. It was the best. I love
Yes.
it. She actually allows me to tell the story, but we're not going to tell it on here, like who it is.
Salute to her. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm saying? Definitely hats off to her. Salute.
Yep. Yep. I think I fell in love with her at that moment. It was great. Okay. So in your chapter, you also say, and I quote, respect should be as standard as a seatbelt in a vehicle because you
Yes.
can't go anywhere safely without it.
Mm.
Let's discuss more of that.
So as you can see, I used to be a rapper in my past life, right? But no, seriously, I like to use metaphors and things of that nature because they kind of hit home. And easily, like to me, I do a podcast, another shameless plug called the Legendary People Podcast, and we've had people that are of different ethnic backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, different, just different types of people that came on there, and we meet on this level, and that bridge is respect. And as long as you have that bridge of respect, you can talk about the most controversial issues. Like we literally have someone on there who is a professed KKK member, and we got a chance to actually have a meaningful conversation because that respect was there, and that's something my grandmother instilled in me. Of course my grandmother Annie Bonaparte. She literally was just like just start off with respect, and once they lose that, then they have to hill to climb, not you. But always be the most respectful that you can at all times, because if someone doesn't respect you, it says more about them than it does say about you.
That is very fascinating. I'm curious, this is off topic, of course, but your podcast, what other kind of
Yes.
topics have you had on there? And is it like just for business people or anybody and everybody?
Yeah, so on the Legendary People podcast, we interview people who've been through traumatic experiences. We have people who've, on one of our recent episodes, we had a member of the Ohio Innocence Project, someone who did 15 years in prison, wrongly accused of something, and then they were let go based off of the evidence not, linking up. We've had a lady on there before who she lost her child. It was missing, and she came on the podcast. We actually returned her child back to her based off of him coming across a social media post with his picture on it. He called back in, so we did 2 shows and reunited the mother with her son. So there is, it's a hodgepodge of all different type of things. So we're kind of like, if the Breakfast Club had a baby with Jerry Springer and then had a little bit of Maury mixed in between the three, that's what we would be as well. And also conscious conversation. So it's not all about financial literacy there because, again, I'm multifaceted and I don't want to, like sometimes they'll know that I do that based off of them knowing me from one thing. But yeah, it's definitely a lot on there. It's called the Legendary People Podcast on YouTube. Check it out with my business partner, Ahava El Elyon, better known as Smith. And I'll send you how to spell his name because he changed his name 3 times. Longer story.
Jeez. All right. Well, I'm going to have to look that up. That's fascinating. So how do you typically find your people to be on the podcast?
So a lot of times people reach out to us, which I feel is the best way to do it because then I don't know, like I'm in Dayton, Ohio, to where people I don't know. I heard California is the land of the stars or whatever it is, but in Dayton, Ohio, everybody's a star. Everybody has a story. Everybody's famous. So it's kind of this whole mantra of, oh, you didn't call me for the podcast kind of thing. But like a lot of times people recommend people to be on the podcast. But with the Ohio Innocence Project, they actually reached out to us because they seen us doing phenomenal work within the community. And we did a very, very great interview detailing this guy named Marty's story. So we look for anybody. If you would like to be on the podcast, you can always reach us on Instagram at Legendary People Podcast, or you always can hit me up personally at the information I'll give at the end.
Awesome. And I know we didn't mean for this to be about your podcast, but I'm curious, so I'm asking questions. Let's see. I'm writing it down real quick though. Legendary People Podcast. Is it video since it's on YouTube, or is it audio?
Yes, it's a visual podcast. So we have a whole studio set up, very, very expensive studio set up, mics, lights, everything. Yeah, it's perfect quality, 4K. Yeah, people will enjoy it as well.
Okay, so they need to come to Dayton to be on it?
No, we've done Zoom interviews with outside guests. We've had politicians come on. We've had rappers, NFL superstars, people of multifaceted backgrounds. So yeah, like you don't have to particularly be in the area in order to be on the podcast.
Good to know. All right. Well, that's all really we're going to talk about your part in the book and your podcast. So thanks for sharing all that. So what made you decide that you wanted to be part of this compilation book?
Oh my God. So I've been a part of other books as well. So Ahava El Elyon, I co-wrote the book Stolen. I have it over there. I'm not gonna repass get it. So I actually did a 8-hour, 3-day interview with Ahava over his life story. Very, very traumatic story. The book is called Stolen, and he got the book transcribed to where it is now a book. It was a bestseller on Amazon. I have to grab it now. But and that right there. So at that time, I was already an author of Dash Resource 5-Step Beginners Edition. I had wrote Dash Resource master's class, but then I kind of unpublished it because certain things I still want to finish and tweaking that. So I kind of was in this purgatory of do I write again? And I'm still working on my 3rd book. And then it came across the book Stolen. So we did a whole a live podcast at the Schuster Center, which is like a major deal here. It's kind of like the creme de la creme of that. And then Miss Daria is one of the most prominent speakers you will ever meet in your life, let alone just publishing a book. So when she asked me to do anything, if she asked me to invent something, I would. I don't know. But yeah, like Miss Daria is a very, very beautiful soul. She is a great speaker, and she is a person who puts her life into anything she's working on. And one of the things she's working on right now is this book. And she asked me to just write something small. And of course, I'm a writer. I love to be like in that space. So when I got a chance to do that for her, I just want to do my all and do my best for her. And she's been so gracious for that. But Miss Daria is 100 the reason why I wrote my portion of the book.
Very good. Well, like I said, your chapter is excellent. So I'm glad you said yes to the project. So you're working on some books. Do you have a new idea for a book that you haven't started yet that you want to write in the future?
So I'm in the process of editing a book called it's called The Felony Survival Kit, and it's kind of this my homage for Dayton, Ohio, and kind of because I know a lot of people who get out of jail or get out of prison. I'm also working with a nonprofit called the FLL. Don't make me say it right now. I just joined, and it's basically when people come back home from prison, they have a book bag that has all the essentials that you need, such as soap, toothpaste, things of that nature. Because a lot of times you come home, you have nobody, right? So what I want to do is provide them also a added resource of, because I know how to break things down in very, very simplest term is, how to start your own drop shipping business, how to start stocks, how to start your own t-shirt company, like all these different things that won't bar them based off of their past and look more towards what they can do in the future. Because I feel like that could just be my whole module of, okay, I've already navigated these systems for other people, because people come to me all the time to start businesses who've been through that. I work with another nonprofit called Felons with a Future, and I've helped a lot of people through that program. So I'm like, well, I might well take notes off how I help these people get to the next level, and then create a book off that to give it and make it where it's mass appeal, and people can just either get it for free off of Amazon and things like that. So that's what I'm working on now.
Fantastic. I love that idea. Very good. So I want to go ahead and give your contact information and leave us with some final wisdom from Curtis.
Okay, thank you. So you can always reach me at my direct email, which is dapper DAPPER @resource.com. On social media is dash resource everywhere. And words of wisdom I like to tell you guys is, don't be a dumbass with a smartphone. It's my favorite thing to say, because that thing that you're sitting on has all your answers in there. If you Google most of your problems, you can get it. Don't be afraid of technology. Technology is the same thing why we've replaced so many different things. For every job that's going to be replaced by AI, there is a new job being presented to someone to service AI. So, yes, don't be a dumbass with a smartphone.
And you mentioned that in your chapter 2 of the book. So I loved that. That one made me laugh. And it's so true. So probably something I'll continue to say the rest of my life now. So,
thank you. Thank you.
yes. All right. Well, Curtis Peanut Johnson, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for being part of the book titled You Are a Star.
Yes.
And for all you viewers, thanks for watching. And definitely find Curtis's podcast on YouTube. And the name of it, I'll let you say it again.
The Legendary People Podcast. And also you can follow my personal one where I teach you on stocks and different ways you can start your business and structure your business and fund your business at Dash Resource on YouTube. So you literally can Google me, not trying to be funny. I hate people say that. You literally can Google me, Dash Resource, and everything pops up.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks again for being here, and thank you for watching.
Peace.